Have you ever worked yourself to the bone late nights, early mornings, giving 110%, only to look at your bank account and wonder, where did all that effort go? You've sacrificed weekends. You've skipped family events. You've done all the right things, and yet, you're standing there with nothing to show for it. I know that pain. Not in theory, in reality. I've lived it. For years, I was the hardest worker in the room, and my results were embarrassingly small. I wasn't lazy, I wasn't distracted, and still, I was stuck. If that's you, listen closely, because in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to give you the exact principles that turned my life around. The same principles used by billionaires, industry leaders, and everyday people who broke free from the grind. And if you stay with me until the end, you'll see how you can compress years of struggle into months of explosive progress. Let's start. Principle 1. Discover yourself. Before you can fix your income, you must fix your aim. And to fix your aim, you must know exactly who you are. I'm not talking about your job title. I'm talking about your core identity, your strengths, your weaknesses, the skills you bring to the table, the things that make you lose track of time because you're so deep in the flow. Oprah Winfrey didn't start out as the media mogul we know today. She was fired from her first TV job for being unfit for television. But she discovered her superpower, connecting deeply with people, and built an empire on it. Here's how to do it. Find a quiet place. No distractions. Ask yourself, what do I do better than most people I know? List your top strengths and weaknesses. Look back at your childhood. What did people naturally come to you for? When I did this exercise, I realized my strength wasn't just in working hard. It was in breaking complex problems into simple steps. That became my competitive advantage. And remember, when you know exactly who you are, you stop wasting energy on things that don't align with your strengths. Principle 2. Be brutally honest about your finances. The second step is facing the numbers, no sugarcoating. Howard Schultz, the man who turned Starbucks into a global empire, grew up in a poor family. His parents never owned a home, but he faced his financial reality early and made a decision. Money wasn't going to be the thing that controlled his life. You can't improve what you won't measure. So grab a piece of paper and write down how much you make, how much you spend, how much debt you owe. No excuses. If you're broke, write it. If you're deep in debt, write it. Lying to yourself about money is like lying to your doctor about your symptoms. You'll never get the right treatment. When I first did this, it was painful, but it gave me clarity. And clarity is the first step to power. Principle 3. Read relentlessly in your niche. Here's a rule you can tattoo on your brain. Leaders are readers. Warren Buffett reads about 500 pages a day. Bill Gates takes 2 reading weeks every year to dive deep into books. Elon Musk taught himself rocket science from reading. When I decided to change my financial life, I picked up Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That book didn't just give me ideas, it rewired my thinking. It was like someone turned the lights on in a dark room. So here's your challenge. Read 1 book a month in your niche. If you want financial freedom, read books on money, investing, business models. If you want to master a skill, read books written by the best in that field. Because books are like compressed decades, you get someone's 20 years of trial and error in 200 pages. Principle 4. Find a mentor. This is the single fastest way to leapfrog years of struggle. Mark Zuckerberg had Steve Jobs. Richard Branson had Sir Freddie Laker. Even the greatest athletes have coaches. A good mentor gives you shortcuts that aren't in any textbook. They'll tell you which paths lead to dead ends, and which ones are express lanes. When I found my first mentor, I stopped making beginner mistakes that had cost me thousands of dollars. Within months, my income tripled. Not because I worked harder, but because I was working on the right things. Pro tip: don't just look for a mentor in your immediate circle. Look online. Offer value first. Make it a win-win. Principle 5. Take high-value courses. Some people look down on online courses, saying they're not worth it. But let me ask you, if you'll spend 4 years in college and tens of thousands in tuition for uncertain results, why wouldn't you invest in a short course that could make you money in weeks? Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, didn't go to business school. She took night classes, learned sales, and turned $5,000 into a billion-dollar brand. When I took my first high-value course, I made in 2 months what I used to make in an entire year. Not all courses are worth it, but the right one can collapse your learning curve. Principle 6. Choose the right wealth vehicle. This is where most people fail. They're in the wrong vehicle, going the long way around. Think of money-making like transportation. You can walk, ride a bike, drive a car, or fly a jet. The vehicle you choose determines how fast you get there. For Jeff Bezos, e-commerce was the jet. For real estate investors like Grant Cardone, property is the jet. For freelancers, it might be a high-demand skill like copywriting or software development. I know people working 9 to 5 who will never be financially free. Not because they're lazy, but because their vehicle can't get them there fast enough. Find a vehicle with scalability. Can it grow without your hours increasing? And leverage. Can you multiply your results without multiplying effort? Your next step. Here's the truth. You're not missing talent. You're missing the right strategy. Discover yourself. Face your numbers. Read relentlessly. Find a mentor. Take high-value courses. And most importantly, get in the right vehicle. Do these consistently, and you'll be shocked how fast your results change. Now, before you click away, your next step is simple. Pick one of these principles and start it today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. And in my next video, I'm going to break down the 3 income streams you can start from scratch that can replace your job within 12 months. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you there. The trap of hard work without results. Here's the truth they don't tell you in school. Hard work alone doesn't guarantee success. Think about Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors in history. He worked tirelessly, often sleeping only 2 hours a night. But while he changed the world, he died broke because he never mastered the business side of his genius. Or think about the countless small business owners who open shop at 6 a.m., close at midnight, and still can't make rent. They're not failing because they're lazy. They're failing because they're in the wrong system. I was the same, until I stopped asking, how can I work harder? And started asking, how can I work smarter, faster, and in the right direction? That's when everything changed.